What's up guys, I'm Heath Pierce. While some players have wowed us and wooed us this year, others have been monumental disappointments. As the European campaign comes to a close, it's time for our worst European 11 of the year. To be clear, this isn't the worst players in terms of talent and achievement. If it was, we'd probably just name a Sunderland 11 and a smattering of Pescara players. But these are the stars on the big teams who didn't live up to the transfer fees, who didn't follow up on great campaigns last year, and who didn't reach the heights we know they're capable of. Of course, there are plenty of players we have to leave out of our 11, so get down in the comments and let us know who disappointed you the most. Let's get to it. We've gone with a 3-5-2 formation for our side, and the man between the sticks has to be Claudio Bravo. When Pep Guardiola signed the most capped Chilean of all time, who had won 2 La Liga titles and 2 consecutive Copa Americas, it looked like a massive upgrade on Joe Hart. But it wasn't. His City career has been littered with costly errors, like the red card for handling outside the box against his old club Barcelona in October, or the disastrous game against Everton in January where he faced 4 shots and gave up 4 goals. Shortly after that, he was dropped from league games for nearly 3 months. Bravo has been a disaster, and the calf strain he picked up in the Manchester derby might signal the end of his career at the Etihad. At left back, we've got Alberto Moreno. Albi, as he's affectionately known, is in his 3rd season with Liverpool, but sometimes it's difficult to see how he has a professional contract at all. The Spanish fullback has a bold attacking style that could suit Jurgen Klopp's high pressing game, but he's earned a bad reputation for failing at the most important thing in his job: defending. It's like the guy was born out of position. He started the season with Liverpool's 4-3 win at Arsenal, a game in which he went on so many ill-advised adventures upfield that he nearly cost them the game, and consequently, he was only given 1 more league start. The Reds are lucky though that utility man James Milner has been a good stand-in. It has also given Moreno time to explore his true passion, which is riding around on his hoverboard. On to center back, we've got Alexander Dragovic. One of the biggest underachievers in Europe this season has undoubtedly been Bayer Leverkusen, who will finish closer to the relegation zone than the Champions League spots they occupied last term. One of their biggest issues has been their back four, and perhaps the biggest letdown has been the Austrian at the heart of their defense. The Austrian defender came to Leverkusen after a poor Euro 2016 display, and it hasn't gotten much better. The low point of this season might have been the 4-2 defeat by Atletico Madrid in February, in which he gave away a penalty and was at fault for Antoine Griezmann's goal. You gotta do better, Alex, and in the league, they haven't. They have the 5th worst defense and a negative goal difference. Our defensive line is rounded out by the 2nd most expensive defender of all time. It's John Stones. The England star has a superb pass completion rate, and he definitely isn't scared of taking the ball past an opponent, but he makes way too many mistakes for a player who costs £50 million. Radamel Falcao made him look like a schoolboy in Man City's 3-1 defeat at Monaco. And what about the home game with Southampton in October, where he passed the ball across his own box directly to a Saints player who scored? Rookie stuff. We're not saying he's a terrible player, just that he's fallen well below the expectations of that price tag, and since his move to City, the same errors from his time at Everton seem to plague him. Pep does believe in him, so you'll have to think he'll have plenty of time to develop. Our defensive midfield pick is Arsenal's walking yellow card waiting to happen, Granit Xhaka. The Gunners spent over £90 million in the summer, and none of the signings have lived up to the expectation. Xhaka does have a great left foot, and he boasts nearly a 90% pass completion accuracy, and he offers plenty of positive forward play, but he's simply not good at key competency of his position, and that's tackling. He's clumsy and reckless, and it's easy to see how he's picked up 9 red cards in the last 3 years. Maybe Arsene Wenger's system hasn't played to his strengths, but Xhaka has been a disappointment and a huge liability. Continuing in the midfield, at left wing, it's a Barcelona star who hasn't delivered the goods, Andre Gomez. One of the main problems with Luis Enrique's reign at Catalunya is transfers. They haven't brought in a great player since Luis Suarez. Gomez cost €55 million with add-ons, and he's tested the patience of the Camp Nou faithful on multiple occasions. He was very poor in the Champions League first leg defeat to PSG and was booed off the field in a game against Leganes in February. He's yet to contribute a goal or an assist, and in the 17 games that Blaugrana haven't won this season, he's featured in 14 of them. That's bad, real bad, and at a club like Barcelona, they don't wait around for you. Next up, it's a Manchester United legend who's seen his stock fall even further in 2016-17, Wayne Rooney. Whereas his former teammates Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs played well into their 30s, the United all-time top goal scorer looks like a spent force at just 31 years old, and he seems just set to have the lowest league goal tally of his professional career. One of the Red Devils' best paid players has only managed a handful of league starts this season, and even in his retreated midfield role, it's clear he's not good enough for an elite Premier League side anymore. He was woeful in a recent home draw with Swansea, and his best position these days days is probably on the bench of a Chinese or MLS team. Sorry, Wayne, but those 250,000 pounds a week just aren't worth it anymore. Our next inclusion is a sad one. It's a player who has gone from scoring the winner in the World Cup final to fighting to save his career at just the age of 24. Mario Götze. Once dubbed the German Messi, Götze failed to make any meaningful impact at Bayern Munich and so returned to the club where he made his name for €22 million fee. But he managed just 9 Bundesliga starts for Dortmund before it was revealed that he had a debilitating muscle disorder that will keep him sidelined until next season. We hate having you in this 11, Mario, so we hope you get back to your best real soon. On the right, we have last year's PFA Player of the Year and a huge reason that Leicester became the most unlikely champions in the history of football, Riyad Mahrez. As you know, the Algerian was a sensation when Leicester topped the table, but this season, he's been much less effective, with less than a third as many goals, nowhere near the 11 assists he managed last year, and 40% fewer chances created. Sure, he's still a good player, and there's rumors of a big money move to Barcelona, but he can give so much more. Maybe it's just an Eden Hazard-like dip, and next year he will be back to conquering the world again. Moving up front, it's Inter's Gabigol. When Brazil won the Olympic gold last summer, they boasted 2 forwards that looked destined for greatness, Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Barbosa, aka Gabigol. One of them went to Man City and has become the future of the team, while the other cost Inter Milan nearly €30 million and is flopped big time. Gabigol hasn't started a single league game for Inter and has just scored once from a handful of substitute appearances. He's under contract until 2021, but don't count on him staying in Milan too long at this rate. Who knows though, maybe he'll pull a Coutinho and reinvigorate his career far away from Inter Milan. And our final spot goes to the Tottenham striker who just can't seem to catch a break, Vincent Janssen. The Dutchman couldn't stop scoring for AZ Alkmaar last year, racking up 27 goals in 34 matches, earning a €20 million move to the lane in the process. Even though Mauricio Pochettino has given him dozens of chances to shine, the 22-year-old has looked terrible. It's like he's watched game tape of all the Roberto Soldado and Paulinho's worst moments in a Spurs shirt and has tried to reenact them. If Spurs weren't fighting for a title, their fans might be a little bit more frustrated by his output, but they can thank God for Harry Kane. So guys, that is our worst Euro 11. Do you agree or disagree? Who did we miss? Should Chicharito have made the list? Jeremy Menez has also been playing terribly shocking at Bordeaux too. Should he break into it? Maybe Peter Cech deserves his place over Bravo. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.